are the sources of modern Indian history, through which sources we can study about the modern Indian history period. So in short, the period of modern Indian history starts from 1707. However, various historians have a different opinion, but 1707 is a landmark year because on this year the one of the Mughal emperor, that is Aurangzeb, died, and this ushered a new era, that how the Mughal economy and Mughal empire started declining, and new administration, new rule came into this Indian subcontinent area. Yes, so this is about the introduction, that we have a plethora of historical materials which exist for the study of India post the mid 18th century, and till 1950, that is the mid 19th century, 20th century, that is after 1947. Roughly we take around this period as the modern Indian history. Post that, it is known as the contemporary modern Indian history, right? So one of the very important segment for knowing about the sources of this period is the archives. The archival records are the very important period things. So what are the archives consisted of? So archives consisted of various documents, various social and commercial activities, papers which have been recorded by multiple officers and multiple merchant groups and all. So they come under the archival records. Then we have also the various official records where various officers have written something, or the government records have been put in place. Then we have the records of East India Company and multiple other East India companies. For example, that is English East India Company, the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch. They all came. They started their journey in India with as a merchant trading company, but later on they turned to administration. For example, England and the Portuguese in Goa, to be very precise, they turned their administration from the business activity, right? Then we have various other sources, like we have government laws and the various acts which were passed by the British Crown and British administration. Then we have other records, as I have told you. Then we have also the contemporary memoirs and biographies, the various newspapers, other various things are there which we are going to discuss. So let's discuss about all these things in the coming lectures. So the study of human Indian history is a very fascinating topic to understand about, not just the administration, not just the political angle, but also the different angles, that is socio cultural, because study of human beings is not complete till you study about society, till you study about the culture of that period, of that particular area, right? And this we will be seeing through various lenses, and one of the lens is about the archival records, as we have understood what all are included in the archival records. So these archival records includes central government archives, and then we have state government archives. Post independence, these various state government archives have been set up so that various states, various provinces can store their important documents on these buildings. Then we have records of various intermediary and subordinate authorities, for example district level, and then the Grameen or the rural level documents. Then we have various judicial records, because judiciary was very much active at that period of time, and various cases have been discussed on that judiciary. So these cases, these judicial records showcases how the development of judiciary has been taken place in the independent or pre-independent era, right? So now first of all, the central government archive, which has been present in the as the National Archives of India in New Delhi, right? So if you want to visit the National Archive of India, you have to visit New Delhi. So this New Delhi office gives a very comprehensive view. It's a very large library which have large number of documents about the various topics and details, right? So these records have diverse fields. The diverse fields of records are there, and we have various knowledges about the East India Company in those records and about the later colonial administrations. So the records within the National Archives are span over different branches, and various secretariats offices have been covered under it. For example, revenue, political, military, secret documents and other commercial documents have been there. So now, in short, all these records tell us about the various wings of the government, right? For example, judiciary, the various commercial activities which have been taken place by the East India Company. So these records, because they are in a paper, they need a various hectic task to preserve these records, because obviously they are kept in a paper, and paper is a sort of uh, material which get uh, destructive, which gets destructed in a short period or a long period of time. So we need a particular science to safeguard all those records, and government of India has done a very well job while they have been preserving all these records. So one of the significant set of records in the National Archives pertain to the Survey of India, which was initiated by the appointment of James Rennell as the first Surveyor General of Bengal in 1767. So he was the first surveyor who started surveying the land of India, and this survey started from the Bengal province, because Bengal is the region where firstly the East India Company started controlling their area after the Battle of Buxar, right? That is 1763, and before that there has been also another battle, that is 1757 Battle of Plassey. So these two battles were very significant for taking the control of the administration of Bengal by the East India Company, and from there they have started surveying the lands. The other important thing was that there was a scientific mapping undertaken by the Survey of India. This not only gives the geographical knowledge but also gives the socio-economic conditions of various period. So this has been there. Also, the archives also have proceedings from public, judicial and legislative departments. They offer abundant of sources about the colonial as well as religious policy. Archival records related to legal proceedings and judicial records sheds light on the legal framework. As I have told you, they give us the development of judiciary in India, right? That how the various courts have been established in India, and how the judiciary system started with the zamindars, who also performed the judiciary in the initial period. Later on, the collectors were turned as the Jila Dandadikari, right, district magistrate, and then slowly how the present day judiciary came into format in the pre-independent and post-independent India. Also, the educational records within the Central Archives tells about the government policies regarding the education and evolution of education system, how the various reports and how the various steps done by the East India Company, for example, Hunter Commission and all Hunter Committee for various development of education reform has been taken place. So all these documents are there in the National Archives of India, which is very helpful for the study of that period of time. Also, we have a notable development in the archival landscape occurred in the year 1907, when there has been a new series of records, that is the Home Political Series, and this series addressed political as well as communal issues, also encompassing the papers relevant to the emergence of nationalist movement. So now there was a new series or new set of records have been established at the National Archives of India, which talks about the political development, the communal issues of that period of time, that is post 1910, that how the communal started, how the Britishers have started dividing India on the basis of communal policies, right? 1909 we have various acts, then 1919 we have Montague Chelmsford records, and all these acts how they started dividing India on the basis of communities. These records are there in the National Archives. Also, we have constitutional developments records that from 1773 to 1935. That is 1773 was the first regulation act, until the 1935, that was the Government of India Act 1935. How the constitution have developed over a gradual period of time, these all records are present in the National Archives. Also, the National Archives serves as a treasure trove for historians, researchers and scholars. So people who do their